जय सद्गुरुदेव, जय पद शरणं, श्री यशरूप चरणं शरणं। जय सद्गुरुदेव, जय पद शरणं, श्री यशरूप चरणं शरणं। जय सद्गुरुदेव, जय पद शरणं, श्री यशरूप चरणं शरणं। जय सद्गुरुदेव, जय पद शरणं, श्री यशरूप चरणं शरणं। जय सद्गुरुदेव, जय पद शरणं, श्री यशरूप चरणं शरणं। जय सद्गुरुदेव, जय पद शरणं, श्री यशरूप चरणं शरणं। जय सद्गुरुदेव, जय पद शरणं, श्री यशरूप चरणं शरणं। सद्गुरुदेव, जय पद शरणं, श्री यशरूप चरणं शरणं। जय सद्गुरुदेव, जय पद शरणं, श्री यशरूप चरणं शरणं। जय सद्गुरुदेव, जय पद शरणं, श्री यशरूप चरणं शरणं। जय सद्गुरुदेव, जय पद शरणं, श्री यशरूप चरणं शरणं।
पूज्य माता और बंधुओं, अभी एक भजन होगा और भजन के साथ साथ सभी भाई बहन अपने अपने इष्ट का ध्यान करेंगे। ध्यान कैसे करें, बहुत शॉर्ट में ध्यान करने का तरीका मैं आपके सामने बताता हूं। संसार में दो प्रकार के भक्त हैं, एक साकार पुजारी और दूसरे निराकार। और ये बहुत पुराने जमाने से चले आ रहे हैं। क्यों? भक्त का स्वभाव कुछ ऐसा ही है। किसी को चेहरे से प्यार होता है, किसी को नाम से प्यार होता है। जिनको चेहरे से प्यार होता है वो है साकार पुजारी, जिन्हें शक्ल से प्यार नहीं होता वो है निराकार। हमारे संतों ने जो ग्रस्त में हुए दोनों के लिए रास्ता बताया, साकार के लिए भी और निराकार के लिए भी। साकार पुजारी सबसे पहले ये निश्चित करे कि परमात्मा की कौन सी मूर्त ऐसी है, कौन सी मूर्ति ऐसी है जिसमें भगवान की सबसे ऊंची भावना आप डाल सकते हो, उसे अपनाइए। उनको पकड़िए, उनको कभी बदले नहीं। एक इष्ट की उपासना, एक इष्ट का ध्यान, एक इष्ट का मनन। ऐसा नहीं कि आज आप राम की पूजा करें, कल कृष्ण की, परसों माँ की, परसों देवी की। ध्यान नहीं बनेगा। अगर अपना इष्ट रोज रोज बदलेंगे, जल्दी जल्दी चेंज करेंगे, तो ध्यान आपका नहीं बनेगा। पूजा का जो मकसद है वो है चित्त की एकाग्रता प्राप्त करना, कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ माइंड। और वो जब ही होगा जब आपका एक इष्ट हो। और जब एक इष्ट होगा तभी आध्यात्मिक अनुभव आपके खुलेंगे। एक इष्ट की उपासना। तो ये मानिए, जिस इष्ट को आप मानते हैं कि वो इष्ट हमारा सशरीर हमारे सामने विद्यमान है, अपने सामने उनकी पवित्र मूर्त को बनाएं। बड़े प्यार से, बड़ी बड़ी आंखें हैं, गोल चेहरा है, जटाएं हैं, सर्पों की माला है, बनाएं अपने सामने अपने इष्ट को। दिल हमारा धड़कता रहता है। दिल की हर धड़कन से जो मंत्र आपका है उसको उच्चारित होते सुने कि हमारे हृदय से हमारे दिल का नाम, हमारे इष्ट का नाम निकल रहा है और हम उसको सुन रहे हैं। और जब तक ऐसा ना हो तब तक जिह्वा से बड़े प्यार से, बड़े आराम से उस नाम को ले सकते हैं। पर होता क्या है कि थोड़े समय तक तो नाम चलता है, उसके बाद मन इधर आकर कहीं भाग जाता है। पता कैसे लगता है? पता ऐसे लगता है कि हमारी आत्मा हमारे मन को देखती रहती है, वो बताती रहती है कि हमारा मन क्या कर रहा है। जैसे ही आपका मन ये कहे कि आपका ध्यान आपके इष्ट के चरणों से हट गया, फिर दोबारा अपने मन को पकड़िए, अपने इष्ट की याद में लगाएं। फिर कहीं दूसरी जगह मन चला जाएगा, उनको पकड़िए, अपने इष्ट की याद में लगाएं। निरंतर प्रयास करना पड़ेगा। यकीन मानिए, अगर आप 20 मिनट की कंसंट्रेशन में, ध्यान में आज आपके 50 विचार आ रहे हैं, तो अभ्यास से, अगर निरंतर अभ्यास करते रहेंगे तो एक दिन ऐसा आएगा कि जब जैसे ही आप पूजा में बैठेंगे आपका मन आपके इष्ट के चरणों में लगा होगा। दूसरे वो भाई हैं निराकार भगवान के उपासक हैं, ओम, अल्लाह, वाहिगुरु, बड़े प्यार से बैठे। मन को साफ कीजिए और ये महसूस करें कि हमारे दिल से ओम नाम निकल रहा है और हम उसको सुन रहे हैं बड़े प्यार से। ओम, ओम, ओम। जैसे कोई दूसरा विचार आए उन विचारों को हटाइए, फिर अपने इष्ट की याद में लगिए। अल्लाह अल्लाह, बड़े प्यार से। सांसारिक विचार आएंगे, उनको हटाएं, फिर अपने इष्ट की याद में लगे, फिर हटाएं, फिर अपने इष्ट की याद में लगे। तो अभी एक भजन होगा और भजन के साथ साथ सभी भाई बहन अपने अपने इष्ट की याद में बैठेंगे।
सजदे में क्यों ना मैं झुकूं, मुर्शिद पिया है रूबरू। सजदे में क्यों ना मैं झुकूं, मुर्शिद पिया है रूबरू। मुर्शिद पिया के वेश में, मुर्शिद पिया के वेश में, खुद ही खुदा है रूबरू। मुर्शिद पिया के वेश में, खुद ही खुदा है रूबरू। सजदे में क्यों ना मैं झुकूं, किबला मेरा है रूबरू, काबा मेरा है रूबरू। किबला मेरा है रूबरू, काबा मेरा है रूबरू। पर्दे में वाइज का खुदा, पर्दे में वाइज का खुदा, मेरा खुदा है रूबरू। मुर्शिद पिया के भेष में, खुद ही खुदा है रूबरू। सजदे में क्यों ना मैं झुकूं, कौसर छलकता वाइदा, तुझको मिलेगा हश्र में। कौसर छलकता वाइदा, तुझको मिलेगा हश्र में। मुझ पे करम है पीर का, मुझ पे करम है पीर का। कौसर मिला है रूबरू, मुझ पे करम है पीर का। कौसर मिला है रूबरू, सजदे में क्यों ना मैं झुकूं। मुश्किल कुशाई होती है मुर्शिद पिया की वाज़्म में। मुश्किल कुशाई होती है मुर्शिद पिया की वज़्म में, मुर्शिद पिया के भेष में, मुर्शिद पिया के भेष में, मुश्किल कुशा है रूबरू, मुर्शिद पिया के भेष में, मुश्किल कुशा है रूबरू, सजदे में क्यों ना मैं झुकूं। शाने खुदा की देख लो आकर हमारी वज़्म में, शाने खुदा की देख लो आकर हमारी वज़्म में, जिसमें यशरूप का अक्स है, जिसमें यशरूप का अक्स है, वो आईना है रूबरू, जिसमें यशरूप का अक्स है, वो आईना है रूबरू, सजदे में क्यों ना सर झुके। अर्शे बरी पे है खुदा, सजदे करूं मैं किस तरह। अर्शे बरी पे है खुदा, सजदे करूं मैं किस तरह, क्योंकि नमाज़ इश्क में, क्योंकि नमाज़ इश्क में सजदा रवा है रूबरू, क्योंकि नमाज़ इश्क में सजदा रवा है रूबरू, सजदे में क्यों न मैं झुकूं। मेरी भी नजरें बोल उठी मुर्शिद पिया को देख कर, मेरी भी नजरें बोल उठी मुर्शिद पिया को देख कर, मुर्शिद पिया को देख कर, कोई पिया से क्या गरज, कोई पिया से क्या गरज, मेरा पिया है रूबरू, कोई पिया से क्या गरज, मेरा पिया है रूबरू, सजदे में क्यों न मैं झुकूं। बोला तसव्वुर इश्क में मिले खुदा से आज हम, बोला तसव्वुर इश्क में मिले खुदा से आज हम, अर्शे बरी की याद में, अर्शे बरी की याद में बैठा पिया है रूबरू, अर्शे बरी की याद में बैठा पिया है रूबरू, सजदे में क्यों ना मैं झुकूं। मुर्शिद पिया है रूबरू, मुर्शिद पिया के वेश में, मुर्शिद पिया के वेश में। खुद ही खुदा है रूबरू, सजदे में क्यों ना मैं झुकूं। सजदे में क्यों ना मैं झुकूं। सजदे में क्यों ना मैं झुकूं।
Jai Sadgurudev, Jai Pacharnam. Anand Yog, Volume 2, Chapter 1. Incarnation, Prophets and Guru. Acharyavan Purusho Vedaha, Acharya Dev Vidya Vidit, Acharya Palavayita Tasya, Samyag Jnanam Palvai Hochate. One who serves the preceptor realizes the Purush. All knowledge is learnt only through preceptor. The preceptor is the navigator, and his perfect knowledge is the boat. The Yoga Sutra regards Ishwar as the greatest Guru. Sa sarveshamapi guruha kale nath pachedat. God is the Guru or preceptor of all, since there is an unbroken chain of preceptors. From times immemorial, a number of prophets and incarnations of God have descended on this earth to save the humanity from disaster. Between two incarnations, a few prophets appear and give shape to new ways of self realization and attainment of truth. Between the two prophets, a number of saints, illuminated souls, appear to guide the people with love and affection and take them to the doorsteps of self realization or spirituality. These saints do not preach new philosophy or religion, but guide the humanity to tread the already established path of self realization and attainment of God by introducing changes in methods suited to the needs of times, place, and society. These saints are known as Sadgurus, Sant, Param Sant, Wali Allah, Buzurgs, and Sufis. The incarnations and prophets use both love and force as and when necessary to establish the truths of the Almighty. They at times propound new philosophy, new social values for the survival of the humanity. They even use force whenever necessary to establish the truths. The saints, however, are empowered to use the methods of extreme love and devotion to inculcate the real yearning in an aspirant and take him to the goal of realization. They keep due regard for the social customs, values, time, place, and the social and cultural aspects of worldly life of the people and within the framework of the society, with immense love and devotion, kindle the flame of devotion and bhakti in the heart of the aspirant, and sail him across the ocean of Maya without much difficulties, and guide him to the attainment of self realization, and then the final goal of becoming one with the Almighty. We are not supposed to guide each and every person in the world or to force them to adopt the path of spirituality. They remain above worldly attachments, greeds, and jealousy. They have love for all, good, bad, or indifferent. They appear to be incarnation of kindness, pity, forgiveness, serenity, and peace. They are selfless souls, devoted to universal love and peace to the common weal. They are always ready to help everyone without any consideration whatsoever. Their heart is always immersed in the remembrance of the Lord. They always feel the presence of the Almighty, and their whole life is devoted to achieve nearness to God. They are the realized souls and the real masters. True aspirants, therefore, are attracted towards these souls, and those who come in their contact start knowing their real self. They get the easy method to achieve spirituality, and in the company of the Sadguru are able to attain Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of heart. The knowledge flows from the heart of the Sadguru into the heart of the aspirants. Spirituality cannot be achieved from books. A living guru is very essential for attaining spirituality. Spirituality flows from the realized living heart to the other living heart, just like a lighted lamp kindles another lamp coming in contact with it. These saints, Param sons, Wali Allah, and seers serve the humanity by their thoughts, words, and actions. They undergo unlimited hardships for the welfare of the universe. Service becomes their second nature. They shower peace and tranquility and enlighten the heart of the aspirants. Like moon, they shed spiritual light, peace and tranquility all around. They infuse spirituality into the heart of the aspirants and generate real love and devotion. A really devoted aspirant takes strides into the realm of spirituality in no time. All the difficulties and problems of such an aspirant get solved, and the path of spirituality becomes a real pleasure in his life. A large number of persons in this world are body minded and are entirely materialistic. Many of them even derive pleasure when they see others in trouble and difficulties. They are always engrossed in accumulating wealth by fair or foul means and waste their valuable life due to utter ignorance and folly. They never get near the truth and honesty, and their whole life is full of diplomacy with only one aim, that is, material gain in all walks of life. They always criticize and belittle others. Selfishness, self praise, and ego is always present in all their actions. They are always ready to devour the wealth of others and inflict insults on honest and truthful persons. This weakens their moral power terribly, and in the long run, they become very weak mentally and physically. They become slaves of smoking, drinking, and never hesitate to commit debauchery, and yet their ego is so predominant in their acts that they think themselves master of all philosophy and assume to have thorough knowledge of all branches. They are so much drunk with ego that they cannot think anything beyond their eye. They always hide their real inner self and cover their sins by long and colloquial talks. They hardly understand that human life may not be possible always, and they have to leave everything of this world, for death is a surety. They are so much engrossed in this dreamlike material world that they never wake up and do not think of the reality, and as such make no effort to achieve spirituality and nearness to God. This strong material illusory trap of Maya keeps most of the persons engrossed within it. The saints or the great souls descend on this earth to free such persons who are engrossed in materialistic shackles and are suffering under the trap of Maya. These saints navigate them out of this trap of Maya and make them realize the truth that the material world is only a bigger dream of life, and its achievements are also transitory and far away from the reality. If one wants to become a real human being, he should carefully diagnose his inner thoughts and actions. A real human being is one who knows well both the world and the knowledge of Brahma Vidya, and that the realization of God cannot be achieved without the help of a real master. It is a natural phenomenon that to achieve knowledge, material or spiritual, you require the help of a guru or master. The material knowledge can be achieved by paying money to a teacher, but spiritual knowledge cannot be attained by money. No amount of material wealth will fetch you self realization and the knowledge of the soul. For this, self surrender with all respectfulness to a perfect master, who is a man of exemplary character and is completely immersed in the remembrance of the Lord, is required. Here, the character of the master plays the most important role. As we see, even for understanding thoroughly the material subjects, a teacher is necessary, and it can be well imagined that to know the science of the soul, the company of a real master would be most essential, the subject being subtle and an abstract one. The knowledge of the heart of a real master flows into the heart of a real devotee. This knowledge of soul, being the function of the heart, cannot be achieved with the help of books and without the guidance of a realized master. Detachment in attachment. Freedom in bondage, death in life, life in death are the achievements of such devoted souls who are known as Sadgurus. The ocean is full of saltish water, and from the ocean, water is evaporated and lifted up in the form of clouds in the skies, and these clouds shower sweet water in the form of rain on the earth, and the fields get a new life. New plants with new fruits and flowers come up everywhere and fill the entire earth with prosperity and happiness. Similarly, the knowledge of soul is just like a vast ocean, and the souls of Sadgurus who have become one with the ocean of the Almighty are just like devoted clouds who shower the bliss of the Almighty into the heart of the real aspirants. They are the real servants of humanity, who kindle the light of love of the Almighty into the heart of the trapped and bound jivas. They have become one with the ocean of peace, anand, and tranquility. These devoted saints are like sandal trees, which fill the entire atmosphere with pleasant fragrance all around. These saints are the real messengers of the God, and they spread this knowledge and light around them. All real actions, practices, and philosophy should lead us to real love and devotion to the Almighty. Those whose hearts are kindled with light and devotion of the Almighty forget this world. For them, the nights and days are alike. Their heart is always enlightened by Ram Nam, and they remain immersed in the remembrance of the Lord. They know no darkness. Doubts or disillusionment never come near them, nor the greed of any worldly gain or fame, nor the highest material benefit could ever extinguish the spiritual light once kindled in their heart. Dishonesty, falsehood, and darkness disappear by and by before the light of Ram Nam. Lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego are transformed into immense love and devotion for God, courage to achieve the goal of life, real attachment to God, universal love, and unflinching faith in the Almighty. When the heart is full with the spiritual light, even the poison is transformed into nectar. Physical and mental worries disappear and do not haunt even in the dream. How to achieve this spiritual light and devotion is the usual question. One should always meditate and try to find the solution. When a real aspirant with a real devoted heart prays to the Almighty, he creates circumstances so that this aspirant comes into contact with a really devoted soul. If the devotee is a real seeker, with his love and humility, he is able to divert the attention of such a devoted soul towards him. The spiritual heart of the devoted soul, which is always merged in remembrance of the Almighty, transfuses the power of love and devotion into the heart of the aspirant and molds him to acquire spirituality. By the grace of God, when one is able to get connected to a real master, he should surrender himself unto his feet with all respectfulness. He should, without reservation, surrender himself completely and obey his master implicitly. If the surrender is real, the soul of the aspirant will come in communion with the soul of the master, and the heart will understand the teachings of the heart. The soul of the aspirant becomes one with the soul of the master and experiences the spiritual bliss of his own Atma, Atmik Anand, and soon attains self realization and is put on the path to become one with the Almighty. The vast ocean of Anand, ecstasy, peace, and tranquility is unfolded into the heart of the aspirant, and his joy knows no bounds. This is the easiest path to achieve spirituality, self realization, and the reality. The path of reasoning is the most difficult one to achieve spirituality and self realization, since our intellect is unable to perceive the subtle aspects of reality by reasoning alone, and there are hundreds of different versions of this unlimited science of the soul. It becomes difficult for a person to come to right conclusion by reasoning and discussion, and in most of such cases, failure and disappointment are the inevitable results. Bhakti Marg, path of love and devotion, is the easiest one. If true guidance is available, there is no fear for the aspirant to go astray. Our beloved Sadguru, the guide, is always with us and takes us through the easy path to the desired goal in no time. Such a soul has already treaded the path of spirituality under the guidance of his own master and knows the ins and outs of the path completely. He knows the difficult points of the journey and forewarns the aspirant to overcome them without much difficulty, and thus the aspirant reaches the goal in no time. This is the greatest service which a Sadguru renders to the aspirants who are really devoted and are desirous of reaching God. Our forefathers, Buzurgane Deen, knowing fully well the conditions of the coming times, introduced the easy method for God realization, where the greater part of the practice was entrusted into the hands of the Master. They very well knew that in the coming times, people will have neither brahmacharya of the olden times nor the physique. They will not have ample time and money to spend lavishly for the practice of the yoga. They will neither have the determination nor the courage to tread the difficult path of yoga. Keeping in mind these conditions and the difficulties of the times, the Master took the highest responsibility on his own shoulders, not worrying much for the perfection of yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, etc. He infused spiritualism into the heart of a real devotee and took him to the sphere of spiritual realization of Atmik Anand in a few sittings. This easy method of attaining spirituality was restarted amongst the Hindus by our Grand Gurudev, Param Sant Mahatma Shri Ramchandraji Maharaj, who achieved spirituality through his Gurudev, Param Sant Mahatma Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan Sahib Kudusruhu. He entered this path in the year 1885 and remained in the service of his Gurudev and devoted unto his feet for complete 10 years. He dedicated his heart and soul unto the feet of his Gurudev and achieved not only self realization but oneness with the Almighty. He attained supreme powers to guide the other jivas to attain freedom from bondage and to lead them to self realization and reality. His life has been truly depicted by his disciples, the descendant saints of the order. He devoted his entire life unto the feet of his Gurudev and always followed the teachings of the order. He was of the firm opinion that unless the aspirant has complete confidence, faith, and extreme love in his Gurudev and determination to follow his instructions, He will not be able to know the complete science of the soul and achieve self realization, and finally cannot become one with the Almighty. It is something else that by practicing concentration one may acquire some unusual mystic power, but will not be able to achieve the desired goal of life, that is, oneness with the Almighty. One should remember that Sadguru is the center of spiritual power. He has mysterious and great powers within him. He can use his powers as and when he likes, and in the way he desires. He can also transmit these powers into the heart of the aspirant and help him in the path of spirituality. This transfusion of spiritual power is known as Shakti Path. The personality of the Sadguru is just like a powerful lamp, which goes on spreading the spiritual light around him, and whosoever comes into his contact gets his sins, troubles, and worries of life destroyed by the light of spiritual lamp. By and by, the devoted aspirants also assume the shape of the lamp, and all the qualities of the Sadguru are inherited by them. There is nothing in the world to compare with the Guru. The nearest substitute to the Guru may be said to be the touchstone, which converts into gold all pieces of iron coming in contact with it. Even the touchstone cannot convert the iron into touchstone. The Guru, however, makes the disciple who has surrendered himself to him his equal in all respects, and sees that the disciple in his turn gets the capability to impart to his own disciples the state of illumination he got from his Guru. All this happens in the company of the real saint or Sadguru. Those who are not able to get such a Sadguru cannot understand the reign of love and bhakti. They are always under the spell of superstition and egoism, and they remain slaves of greed, jealousy, lust, anger, and attachment throughout their lives. Always remember, a living fox is more useful than a dead lion. Om.
अनमोल वचन अखिल भारतीय संतमत सत्संग के संस्थापक और गृहस्थ में आनंद योग के जनक परम संत महात्मा परम पूज्य श्री यशपाल जी महाराज अर्थात परम पूज्य भाई साहब जी द्वारा प्रतिपादित इन अनमोल वचनों का पालन करना अति आवश्यक है। ये वचन हमारी गृहस्थ आध्यात्मिक साधना के लिए मूलभूत सिद्धांत हैं, जो इस प्रकार हैं। हम दुनिया की हर चीज की कीमत आंकते हैं, अपने मानव जीवन की कीमत भी जाने व परमात्मा की प्राप्ति हेतु साधना करें। मनुष्य योनि एक उपहार है, इसीलिए परमात्मा को धन्यवाद देते हुए आधा घंटा प्रातःकाल, आधा घंटा सायंकाल पूजा अवश्य करें। सत्संग, सतनाम व सद्गुरु को प्राथमिकता देते हुए इसी के आधार पर ध्यान योगाभ्यास अवश्य करें व गृहस्थ के कार्यों को परमात्मा का कार्य समझकर उसी की याद में संपन्न करें। हर समय ये ध्यान रहे कि गुरु कृपा द्वारा परमात्मा की पवित्र सत्ता का हमारी आत्मा में वास है, अतः मन में निरंतर अपने इष्ट देव का जाप करें। मान सम्मान की इच्छा ना करें व अपमान से दुखी न हो। परमात्मा के अतिरिक्त किसी और का भय न करें। दूसरों की बुराई न करें, न सुने, सत्य व मधुर बोलें, अश्लील शब्द मुंह से ना निकालें, सभी से नम्रतापूर्ण व सुंदर व्यवहार करें। धर्म पत्नी के अतिरिक्त अपने से बड़ी से माता जैसा, बराबर की से बहन जैसा व छोटी से पुत्री जैसा व्यवहार करें। सांसारिक जीवन यापन की आवश्यकताएं अंतहीन है, इसीलिए अधिक से अधिक समय सत्संग में व धन परोपकार में खर्च करें। याद रखें, न स्त्री माया है, न धन दौलत, न ही परिवार। माया वह है जो हृदय को परमात्मा से दूर हटा दे। अतः निरंतर सत्संग और सद्गुरु की शरण में रहने का प्रयास करें। भोजन अपने इष्ट को अर्पण कर प्रसाद रूप में परमात्मा की याद में करें। रात्रि में सोने से पहले अच्छे बुरे कार्यों का आत्मनिरीक्षण कर उसका समुचित पश्चाताप करते हुए ध्यान करें व प्रभु की गहरी याद में ही विश्राम करें। परमात्मा तू ही है, तेरी इच्छा पूर्ण हो।